Hello friends, welcome to Jugnista, where you can order customized art gifts. Today I am going to show you how I make sea sands that I use in my art projects such as ocean theme resin works. I prefer to create my own sea sand, not just to save money, but also to have control over the sand's texture and size. This way, I can choose finer or coarser sand based on the scale of my artwork, or if I want to create larger, more realistic seabeds. The process is quite simple. The main challenge for some of you might be finding the right quartz that work well for making sea sand. I usually find quartz like this along the riverside. Whether you call it pink quartz or rose quartz, the key is to have a balanced mix of white and pink tones. This piece is perfect. Let me give it a wash to remove any dirt. Now I'm just wiping off the water to make sure the quartz is completely dry. Once it's ready, let's move on to crushing it to create beautiful sea sand. I've wrapped it in an old towel, which I recommend using since there's a good chance the towel might tear during the process. Wrapping the quartz in a towel keeps the pieces from flying everywhere, just as you might have guessed. I'm using a traditional Kerala hammer to crush the quartz, but you can use anything sturdy that does the job. I am sorting them into different storage boxes. You can sort and store it according to the size if you are not making all the sands at once. If you try to make sand with both large and small pieces together, by the time the larger pieces are the right size, the smaller ones will have turned to dust. I highly recommend wearing gloves to protect your hands, especially if it's your first time working with broken quartz. I forgot to wear mine, so learn from my mistake. The fine powder you see here is actually a byproduct of crushing quartz to make sea sand. Back in the day, before sandpaper was widely available, we used this quartz powder to sharpen chisels and other tools. Alright, back to crushing the quartz. Now let's place these smaller pieces into a stone mortar. You'll want to hold the pieces down with your fingers like this to keep them from flying out as you crush them. Now it's time to start extracting some sand. Like I mentioned earlier, if you try to crush everything at once, you'll end up turning a lot of pieces into dust. To separate the square-shaped sand particles, you can use any filter that matches your desired size. Here I'm using a juice strainer which gives me a nice consistent sand size. Yes, we need to remove dust from sand. Repeat the process as many times as you need to get the amount of sand you want. Now I'm using a tea strainer to separate the fine dust from the sand that I'll be using both, but I want to keep the sand free of any dust. Please visit jurinista.com to purchase our artworks. If you liked the video, kindly consider liking and subscribing. Thanks. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.